we're off-centered big time. Get over here. Get over here. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Yes, we are here today for...
One of these times I'm not even going to say no and you're going to be like, yep.
Yep. We're here today to do our Jeff versus Jamie reading challenge 2015 wrap up and our 2016 book picks. So we're going to start off with recapping the books that we challenged each other to read in 2015, and then we're going to go into our 2016 book picks, okay? The first book that Jeff challenged me to read in the year 2015 was The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I ended up rating this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I did like it. But man, is this a weird book. Like when Jeff initially said, oh yeah, good luck trying to explain what that one's about. I don't know what it's about still. It's about a boy who like goes through a lot of weird stuff. I don't know. An ocean at the end of the lane, but it's not really an ocean, is it? I don't know. So,
weird one. It's
a weird one, but I did listen to the audiobook, which I think helped. Neil Gaiman audiobooks are really good, and he reads them.
Does my face look fat?
No. My face looks bright white, though.
You're welcome.
Jeffrey.
First one Jamie challenged me to read was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. No thanks.
I really thought that he would like that one.
No. It's just a long love story.
I didn't think it was that lovey.
It is very lovey. I didn't connect with any of the characters, and there was too much love in it.
Yeah. The next one that Jeff challenged me to read was The Child Thief by Brom, which is like a Peter Pan retelling where Peter Pan is like a child thief and he like steals children and he's really bad. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I did really like it. It is quite a large book, but it's got like pictures in it and things like that. It's really dark. A lot of really like crazy nasty things happen in this book, but it's very good. So if you are not like into super lighthearted books, you want something a little darker, good Halloween time read,
yeah,
I'd recommend that. That's a good book.
It was a good Halloween read.
Yeah.
Alright, next one Jamie got me to read was Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Stephen
You
Chbosky.
can't really see them with the light.
Yeah.
I gave it a 5.
Yeah.
It's good. It's just a crazy good story.
It is.
Like, it's so twisted and it's so messed up, but it's so amazing at the same time.
So good.
Yeah, it's well written, well told. Good job, Stephen.
Next book Jeff challenged me to read was Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, which is the second book in the King Killer Chronicles, and I love this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. It got on my top whatever list of 2015. It was so good. You guys, you just need to read the series to know how good it is.
Nailing it! Table creaks when he's on it.
Albi's fat. Fat Albert. Fat Albi.
Next one Jamie gave me to read was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I remember I liked it. It was slow for me. I find that I was waiting and anticipating what was going to happen next. I was kind of just inching through it. The love triangle I didn't like, obviously. I remember it not being terribly bad in this. It was good. Like, it's a good book. I feel like I'm kind of being unfair by nitpicking. I'm picking
because
nits.
It's a book I picked for.
I'm picking nits, so I'm not gonna pick nits. It was good. Read it. I just could have gone for a bit more. That's why I gave it a 4. 4 for more.
4 for more. The next book Jeff challenged me to read, which just so happened to be my favorite book of 2015, was A False Prince by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This book is a young adult fantasy book, and it is friggin' amazing. Like, read this book. Why aren't more people reading this book? I just hit myself. We have the second and third book. I want to get into those real soon. I'm pumped.
Nailed it.
Stoked.
Can we talk about this for a second?
Yeah, you nailed it.
I
did better last
friggin'
year.
nailed it. I nailed it.
Yeah.
It's so gratifying. I'm so happy.
Right.
Next book I read was The Book Thief, Marcus Zuzak. It's really good. Historical fiction. Not a typical read for me. Not a typical read for you.
No, not at all.
You can't not like this book. I mean, just with all the...
You could tell why it's a lot of people's favorite book.
Yeah, I mean, just... It's a heartwarming story, kind of.
Yeah, completely depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, the ending's super sad. Like, as you're going through it, it's nice. Stop it.
You do that to me all the time.
Yeah, you're way worse.
Ah.
I gave it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you should go.
Alright, yeah, because I have so much to say about this next book that Jamie has. But anyway, last one I was told to read was Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Didn't like it. Gave it a 2 or a 3, I don't remember.
That one was really gonna go either way, I think.
Yeah, listen, I was like, this book could be so friggin' good. Like, that book could have been unreal for me. It could have been. Just need a little more oomph, a little more something.
Apparently it needed a lot more. It too.
Yeah, true. Oh my god, it had such a cool premise. It really had a cool premise. And I was super excited at the beginning. But then it was just kind of like, I just slowed down and, yeah. That's real weird. Anyway, 2 out of 5. Didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
So I can't believe this is happening right now, this next book that Jamie's about to talk about, and I know that so many people are going to agree with me, but I'll let you go first.
Anyways,
you go ahead.
The last book Jeff challenged me to read was Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I did not finish this book. In fact, I only got 100 and so pages in, and I literally was sitting in bed and it was like 2 days worth of, do I really want to finish this book? Because I really wasn't into it, which I understand is a lot of people's favorite books. It's literally on like everyone's top books of 2015, and I just couldn't get into it. Like, I know I didn't really give it a fair shot. If I listened to it on an audiobook, I think I would have liked it more. But literally, like, the metals confused me so much. And what else was it? I'm like, why do they keep talking about this? Why don't they just get over it? Oh yeah, like when they're going through things like, oh, and then I pulled bronze, then I pulled iron. It's like,
yeah, because that's what
they mean?
That's what they draw for their that's where their magic comes
from.
They swallow vials.
Anyways,
and she doesn't.
Pretty much, that's how I felt too. I did not finish it, so that you guys, you know what that means, that Jeff won the challenge between...
But I don't feel good about it because that book is unreal. I honestly know you would love that book if you would have just kept going.
I will try to read this year. I might get the audiobook and listen to it because for me, this kind of book, I just feel like I absorb it better through audiobook as opposed to reading it. I don't know.
Listen, it's unfriggin' believable. It's really odd to me, the books that you loved, but then didn't like that one.
I know. I don't understand. I think honestly, I just wasn't in the mood for it.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Like it was nearing the end of the year.
This book is a slam dunk.
I should have read that closer to the beginning.
That book, it's slam dunk. Read that book.
I will.
It's the only book you read in your life.
I will read that this year. I will. I'll do it. We're gonna move on to our 2016 reading challenge. We decided this year instead of 5 books to only do 3 books just because 5 is a lot, especially for maybe like Jeff, who, you know, his books are bigger that he wants to read, so if I shove all my books in there, it's kind of taking time away from the books that he really wants to read. So we decided to go with 3 books this year, and those books are...
Those smaller ones for Jamie because she was giving me a hard time with the big ones.
Have you seen the size of the books he gave me? Like,
I wanted to give her Way of Kings, but she's like, no.
No. So the first book that I am challenging Jeff to read this year is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, because I'm afraid that if I don't make him read this book that he won't continue with the series, and I know this book is better than the first one, and I know he's gonna like this book more than the first one. The series apparently just keeps getting better and better and better, so I am challenging Jeff to continue on with this series and read Crown of Midnight. You gotta. How badass she is!
Yep. First one I'm getting Jamie to read is Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card. It's number 2 in the Ender's Game
series
because it's not a trilogy. Yeah, well,
it's originally
it was, yeah, it's a quartet, I think. But there's so many out now. But anyway, this book, by the way, I would recommend it for everyone. Like, it doesn't get any talk because everyone talks about Ender's Game, but this one's really friggin' good. Like, the series kind of like, there's Ender's Game and then it kind of starts to peter off and go down, but in my opinion, but Speaker for the Dead is almost as good, I would say, as Ender's Game. Like, I would say they're pretty close. If you're not reading it because you don't want to be like, oh my god, I have to read 2 more books after that, I really feel like you could technically stop at any point. I'm not sure if Orson Scott Card had really thought that he was going to do 4, so they kind of all seemingly end at the end of the books. Ender's Game doesn't, I guess, so we probably had this one in mind. If you like Ender's Game, definitely recommend Speaker for the Dead.
Next book I am recommending to Jeff is The Bone Season, and this is by Samantha Shannon. This is an adult fantasy series. This is the first book, and Jeff is gonna love it because everybody says he will, so I agree. Adult fantasy, right up your league. Bone Season.
Right up my alley, you mean?
Right up your alley.
Right up my league, does make sense.
Them's the apples. Okay, so that's the next book that Jeff is challenged to read.
I'm giving something to Jamie that's a bit different, and I think she'll like it. I'm going to recommend she read Chris Hadfield's An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth. I love this book. Obviously, he's not an author, but
it's a memoir.
He's a very intelligent guy. Canadian astronaut.
Canada!
It's kind of uplifting, and, you know, it talks about the struggles he had, you know, being Canadian to join NASA and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's just a good read.
Last book I am challenging Jeff to read, this was a last minute pull for me. This is my favorite book, and I've been holding off because I don't know if Jeff's gonna like it, but I don't know, it's just so good. I don't know how you can't like it. And that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer, which is a sci-fi retelling of Cinderella, only Cinderella is a cyborg. And so,
listen, you're hitting some key points here. Cyborg.
There's androids in it.
See, the problem here is
it's intergalactic, it's interplanetary. Interplanetary. Sure. I don't know. This is
the Cinderella part is the part of the book.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's so good. Like, I love this series so much. And like, Jeff's gonna be able to fly through this. Like, look. There's spaceships, villains, like, it's amazing. So that is the last book I recommend to Jeff to read this year.
Right.
And the one I'm the most excited for him to read to see what he thinks.
Read that one first.
Yes.
Last book I'm recommending for Jamie. She kind of asked me to recommend this one too. You try to read this?
Yeah.
Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. It's kind of about like anti-heroes. Something happens in the world that kind of causes these people to get these certain mutations. Most of them turn bad. That's the premise.
And I have already attempted to read this in this past year, but I just wasn't in the mood for it, so I stopped reading. I didn't get very far.
You were in a reading mood then.
I wasn't. I was in like the biggest reading slump of my life, like pretty much all year. So I don't know, it wasn't what I was looking for. I wanted a contemporary, so I just put it down and I didn't finish it. So I didn't get very far in it either, so I'll continue.
It's super good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So those are the challenges that we completed and our new challenges for 2016.
Which one are you worried about the most?
Actually, I think I'm the most worried about Speaker for the Dead because
I am too.
This friggin' thing is a mass market paperback. And another thing is, I think that's the reason why I had such a trouble with Mistborn, because I hate reading these books.
Do you know what you should do?
Listen to the audiobook?
I really think if you're gonna read this, listen to the audiobook.
Okay, I might.
Honestly, for me, for this one, like, I loved it. And I feel like fantasy readers would love it.
The first one's really good, though.
But see, this one is
different.
It's very different. Albi!
It was Albi's face.
Is that food?
Point of the story is Jeff beat me this year, but I feel like
all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
I've done the cowboy dance in a while.
Anyways, those are all the books that we are challenging each other to read 2016. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. We hope to see you again soon. Say goodbye, Jeffrey.
Later days.
Bye.